his kids got an outside shot. Around Super Bowl or so, we were down around 12 points. They were saying, well, at least he'll make sure Brown spent his money. Around spring training, it was around 10 points. They were saying, well, maybe he's got an outside shot. A month ago it was 7 points. New poll came out about a week ago. We're tied, 44 to 1.
Yeah!
Pretty simple. Sherrod Brown's been running for political office since Richard Nixon was president. He's been in Washington for 2 decades. If he was the answer, our problem would have been solved many years ago. And folks throughout this state, not just Republicans, Democrats and Independents as well, are looking for a new generation of leaders. Folks who look a little different, sound a little different, feel a little different, think a little differently, and have the backbone and guts to take on political bosses, career politicians, and lobbyists in Washington. In my mind, the only way to change Washington is to change the people we send there. That's one of the reasons why Bill Johnson was elected this past election cycle. People are hungry and thirsty for change in Washington. They think Washington is broken. The only way to change is to send a new crop of leaders there. And I'm proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with folks like Bill Johnson and others to change our country for the better, and also look forward to this fall doing everything I can to help our candidate for president, Governor Romney, across the finish line as well. So thank you for all you do, and appreciate your support of our cause. If you want to get involved, Dave, why don't you raise your hand? This is David, and if you want to get involved, just go up to him, give him your phone number, give him your email address, and we'll be glad to get you involved, volunteering, knocking on doors, making phone calls. If you feel inclined, you can go to our website, joshmandel.com. Thanks again.
Yeah! Yay!
Right now, we are in the 6th class. That's correct. We are very fortunate to represent by a Republican in Washington. Congressman Bill Johnson, running for the U.S. Congress. Bill, it is good to see you. Thanks for being here. How about Josh Mandel?
We already know, and I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, but we already know that this president cannot run on his record of pro-economic growth. He's dividing America. He's running on everything other than his job performance. You know, we passed the health care law. He and Nancy Pelosi and Charlie Wilson jammed that through the American people's throat. And he promised us that it was going to create jobs, but 40% of Americans are saying it's not creating jobs. That law is the reason we cannot grow and hire and expand our business. He promised that it was going to reduce health care costs. Has it reduced health care costs? The CBO says that it's going to cost $2 trillion, a lot more than what the American people thought that it was going to cost. And he promised us that we could keep our own doctors. And now we know that that's not even true, because the law is driving healthcare providers out of the industry as fast as they can run. 1 in 3 are saying that they can't take any more Medicare patients. And we've got a 15-member panel of unelected bureaucrats in Washington that are making our healthcare decisions. Not to mention, and I see a lot of the color of some of his hair out there, you've got to be concerned about the $716 billion, nearly $750 billion that they cut out of Medicare. That's going to disadvantage people all along the Ohio River here. You know, we've got a solution here in Ohio. We are sitting at the epicenter of the next generation of American exceptionalism around energy development and production. The Marcellus and the Utica Shale and the job opportunities that are being created. Think about what's happening. A nearly $1 billion facility being built by Chesapeake right across the border in Columbiana County. A $500 million facility being built by Mark West down in Harrison County. A several $100 million facility being built by Halliburton over in Guernsey County. And I talked to a company the other day that over the next 5 years, they're looking at investing nearly $2 billion in additional pipeline technology to harvest this vast resource that we've got. We're sitting on the catbird seat right here in eastern and southeastern Ohio, folks. We can be the next generation of American exceptionalism, and we've got a lot of prosperity looking us in the face. You You got a lot to be proud of. I want to thank you for all of your hard work. Josh was exactly right. This election is not going to be won by fancy politics and fancy rhetoric. This election is going to be won by people like you, telling your friends, telling your family, knocking on doors, making telephone calls. This is an imperative that we win this election in November. In November. In November, there's going to be a very clear choice. Are we going to stay with the big government, big spending, more government regulations, higher taxes, policies of Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and Charlie Wilson? Or are we going to go with the private sector economy, individual freedom and liberty for all Americans? And I think I know what you guys want. That's what I want. Thank you so much for being here.